Welcome to the My Creative Days podcast, where we will talk about all things DIY, home decor, decorating tips, and creating a beautiful home on a budget. I am hoping our time together will spark a creative idea, help you plan your next DIY, or inspire you to finally tackle that project you keep putting off. Grab your favorite cup of motivation and let's chat. Hello and welcome to the podcast. Today I decided to do something a little bit different. I am sharing a post that I put on Instagram. I am always sharing my, thrift hauls, my yard sale hauls, my, church sale hauls. I share that over on my YouTube channel so you can see everything that I'm picking up and why I pick it up. I like to share my ideas for the item or how I would use it or whatever. So I share that all on my YouTube channel. And I also, I will share different, photos of the thrifted finds on my Instagram channel. I'll share videos on there as well, short videos, reels, and those kinds of things. And so I shared a photo of my cart at the thrift store, and I get this comment all the time. So if I'm at, sharing in stories, me inside a thrift store showing what I like, what I'm picking up, or this would be good if you needed blah, blah, blah. And then I give you ideas. And I always hear people that, number one, they would never think to do that, or they would never think to pick it up for that. But the most often thing I hear is, I tried to go to the thrift store, but I don't find anything good. So I just stopped going. So I have shared many podcast episodes on here, and I have blog posts on my website, mycreativedays.com. But what I did on Instagram is I wanted people on Instagram to give their best thrifting tips to help those people that say that just, I can't find anything. So I don't go. I just want to encourage those people, and this could be you. So I thought I would share the tips that were sent in. And some of these are going to be repeats, but I am going to repeat them because that just shows you how important they are. And it's the first thing that, like, these thrifters that are sharing, the first thing that they wanted to say. Okay, so first of all, go often. So I'm just going to read these, I'm just going to go down the line. Go often. And I have said that over and over and over again. You cannot go to one thrift store one day and not come out of there with anything and think, I just don't find anything, I'm not going. That is unfair. That is not a good study. Do not do that. You have to go often. If you spend any amount of time in a thrift store, you will see how often they are bringing out new things. It's all day long. So if you walked in, in the morning and then you go over your lunch break, there will be new stuff out. So you need to go often. The next one is keep a list of things that you're looking for. That's great. You need to, if there's certain measurements of something you're looking for or a list of what you're looking for. But for me, it's those times when I'm in there and it's like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I don't really need it. And it's such a great price. Like, I pick up those items too. So you will definitely find that. But having a list of things that you're actually looking for is so helpful. And if, like I said, you need certain measurements or whatever, that's super helpful to have inside the store. And I have a whole blog post about what kind of things I'll actually link that. The things that I take with me when thrifting. So having a small tape measure that fits in your purse is always nice to have at yard sales, estate sales, or thrifting. Because like I said, if you do have those specific measurements, then you've got it right at your hands. And sometimes thrift stores won't have that there. So the next one is know your prices. And this is good because especially now, thrift stores, their prices they're very high. And there are so many things more now than earlier that I walk away from because the price is just ridiculous. Let's just be honest. It's ridiculous what they have on some of those prices. So definitely know your budget, know your prices, and stick to those. The next one is, I love this one, the way she said it, because it's so true. And I've said it over and over again, especially with yard sales. Just go. Okay, just go. It's like when you go to a garage sale, and all of these are for yard sales, estate sales, thrift stores, like it all applies. Just go. You may drive up to a yard sale and you think it's all baby stuff. This just happened to me and I just shared it on YouTube, what I actually walked away from this sale that I thought was all baby stuff. I'm in a season where I don't need baby stuff. But I went up to this sale and I found the most amazing thing up there. You have people like at yard sales and thrift stores, people from all generations, all, whatever, bringing stuff there to sell. So, or to donate or to whatever. Just go, walk up to the sale, get into the thrift store. You're going to find good stuff when you're meant to. That's another one that they put on here. You're going to find good stuff when you're meant to. This is something my mom has taught me, and she always says this to me, especially when I'm going into a thrift store and I see somebody walking out with something amazing. It's like I always say, if I could just not see that, please just keep my blinders on so I don't see what anybody else is, has in their cart, they're checking out with, or they're walking out of the store with. Please, I just don't need to see it because then it's just worse for me. But my mom will always say, well, it wasn't meant to be. If it's not there, you don't get it, then it wasn't meant to be. And I just, it's so true. But sometimes when you're in the moment, it's hard to believe that. But you're not going to find stuff every time. That's another one that they put on here. You're not going to find stuff every time. And just know that. The thrill of the hunt is what's going to keep you coming back. Okay, the next one is go early. So this one, if you are going to yard sales, church sales, whatever, definitely yes, you need to go early. As far as thrifting, the stores, like I said, they are bringing out new stuff all day long. So it's not necessarily, and I guess I should preface this by saying every thrift store is different. So you may learn or you may get to know the people that work there or manage it. And maybe every Tuesday is when they bring all the furniture out, or maybe, today all they're working on is getting the clothes out or whatever. Different thrift stores are going to do it differently, but most of the thrift stores around here, it's all day long that they're bringing out new stuff. So going early may not necessarily mean you're going to find the best stuff because, if you went then at noon, there's going to be all new stuff and the best stuff might be there too. So, but definitely for yard sales, church sales, estate sales, the earlier you go, you're going to have the better pick of the best stuff. Go to a variety of places. So you definitely want to go to a lot of places. So don't just stick to one store. If you've got a chance to go to multiple stores, you definitely want to go to a variety of places and be willing to try new spots. Maybe it's a spot you tried a year ago and you're like, I just was so bad. Go again. And you will find places, like she said here, you are going to find you'll go to some places just for furniture, other places for vintage items. You're going to find your route and your stores for different things. Go often and to a variety of places. The next one is take time to look it over. This is huge because when you're shopping this way, most of the time there is no return policy. So you want to just take time to look it all over. Make sure that if it's going to need a makeover or whatever, what kind of work it's going to need. And just, I'm just thinking like furniture, do the drawers work? Are all the knobs there? Are some of the, is the veneer missing? If it's a vintage piece, is it cracked? Is it chipped? Is it, all those things? Just make sure you give it a good look over. And here, I love this one because it's so true. If you are unsure, put it in the cart. Put it in the cart. There is like a audio that went viral that I can't remember if it was on Instagram or TikTok, and it was just like, put it in the cart. I don't know what it is. Just put it in the cart. That just made me think of that. But it's so true. Get a cart when you go into a thrift store. Just get a cart or a basket. If you are even slightly thinking about an item, put it in the cart. And then you can decide later, but there have been many times, and I've done this too, where I love something. I'm like, I'll just think about it. And I go around a couple times, come back, and somebody else has got it in their cart. So just put it in the cart. Okay, another one that came through, another tip was spend some time on Facebook or IG pages that flip or upcycle or DIY or decorate. So that and another one, a huge one is Pinterest, so that you can have a vision for what could be versus what is, right? So that basically means, like I always say, keep an open mind in the thrift store, yard sales, estate sales. it may be this, but how could I upcycle it or change it to fit my style better? Or, it's perfect, but it's the wrong color. It needs new hardware. It's, whatever it is, just keep an open mind. And, browsing, Instagram pages, Pinterest, those things, Facebook, they're saying, just to get those ideas going is a good idea. Just so that it's even magazines. I will go sit like at a Barnes and Noble and just browse magazines when I'm feeling like I just need some inspiration. I just need some ideas just to get the creative juices flowing. So then the next one says, I have a list of things I am looking for and a list of if I find it, but like a list of bucket list of like vintage finds. So basically what she's saying, she has a list of what she's like actually looking for, but then there's that list of if I found this would be amazing, but I'm not going to pay over this price for it. So again, it kind of goes with know your prices. But make sure that you're kind of up to date on what the prices are, like what people are maybe selling those things for or what they're maybe worth, so that you can just have an idea of, oh my gosh, this thing is $15, definitely putting it in the cart because that's a great price of this vintage or bucket list item that I've been looking for and it's kind of been on that side list. And a good thing to use for that is the Google app, the picture app. And I have a whole video on how to use that. So I will link that in the show notes as well. So definitely check out the show notes because I'm going to link you to 2 things that are going to be super helpful when you are thrifting. That Google app, you guys, I'm telling you, if you are not using that yet, you need to. And once you learn how to use it, which literally takes, the videos are really, really short. It'll take under 5 minutes. Once you know how to do that, you'll start going around your house and taking photos to learn more about the pieces in your home. I live with that Google app every time I am thrifting for sure. Sometimes at yard sales or church sales, if there are a lot of people there, I'm grabbing because the prices are so low. I may be grabbing or taking a chance on more things there than I would in a thrift store where the prices are more. And I kind of have more time to kind of park my cart and kind of look some things up to make sure that I am at the right price point and I'm not paying over or it may just be something that I'm looking to find more information about as well. So definitely check the show notes for that because you will love that tool. You will use it all the time. I am hoping that people keep adding to this post on Instagram. You can find me at My Creative Days on Instagram. You will find posts like this. And all my reels and things like that are over on Instagram. If this was helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Share this podcast with somebody that might find this helpful as well. I always appreciate it when you share the podcast. And as always, if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to cover on the podcast, email me, lindsay@mycreativedays.com, or on Instagram, you can send me a message at mycreativedays. I love to hear from you. I never share your name. It's just those questions and those podcast ideas are my favorite to record because I know they are exactly what you need and exactly what you're looking for. So until next time, I hope you have a great day and I will talk to you very soon. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I am grateful that you tune in every week and that you share the show with your family and friends. I love having creative chit chats with you, and my hope is that this podcast will inspire you to try a new project, start a DIY that you've been putting off, and decorate your home exactly how you want it. There are a few ways you can help us with the podcast. Follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you could take a few minutes to leave the podcast a review, that would help us so, so much. Again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to our chat next week. Bye-bye.